one of the really important things is that businesses today can be doing those things to help them show up in these AI models. Maybe there's future events that might happen or developments that change how we do business. But today, as you were talking about, you had a plumbing issue with your water pump. You went on to cloud to troubleshoot that, but the data that gets in there is coming from somewhere.
Yes, and that's where it gets interesting for companies. So diagnosing the issue is just a first step for me, of course. As a second step, I then went to Claude and I said, okay, now you know what the problem is. What do I do to solve it? And Claude said, look, here are 10 plumbers in the area, and then help me evaluate these businesses. And that's where it's really critical to show up. What is important for everybody listening to this to understand, or watching this to understand, is that LLMs, and Google is turning into an LLM as well, are incredibly good at understanding rich context. The average length of a prompt query that people type or speak into LLMs is 5 times longer than classic search keywords on Google. Instead of something like, best plumber near me, which people would and still are searching on Google, on ChatGPT or Claude, they might search for something like best plumber near me who can fix a broken water pump that is of the brand blah, 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 maybe with a certain distance from my home. That is a very typical prompt that people are using. On the other hand, now the question is, okay, how do these LLMs select the right business? And a large part of that is just knowledge. Does the LLM know that you as a plumber are able to fix that specific pump? And it will do so either by looking at the web. Is there any information out there that does not come from the service provider?
Maybe a review, Reddit, places like that.
Exactly. Reviews, Reddit, all sorts of user-generated content, Yelp, like whatever platform you have, will usually have access. So we'll look at all these platforms, but then of course also evaluate the service providers list, right? The contractors list. Website, not list. I think like what I'm seeing over and over, especially in local sorts of businesses where there's a regional aspect or like a proximity aspect, a lot of those companies would make a huge jump in visibility if they just provided more information about their services. Here is who we are, here is what we can do, all the different services, the types of brands or companies or material we work with, where we are, like how the process works. That is all gold for LLMs and often the first step in becoming more visible on them. And as I said, on Google, because classic search is also changing rapidly. We're seeing more AI answers at the top of the search. We're seeing Google pushing more visitors into their own LLM AI mode or Gemini. This is accelerating rapidly, and context is the most important factor when it comes to showing up at all.